the tiki one. Thank you, thank you. My name is George Kaiho. I'm a bartender at Jettison, which is a bar 7 minute that direction. I've been around in the industry for about like 15 years or so, and one thing I think I specialize is Japanese style bartending. So I'm gonna kind of go through mostly the steps and what's behind it, or when I'm making a drink, what am I thinking? What am I being careful of? So most of you are bartenders, and like hope you like if you can kind of think about it when you're working at your bar, if you can kind of incorporate it, that'll be my goal. So let's get started. Uh, I don't have time, so I'm gonna go through a very fast little history stuff, like why Japanese it's called Japanese bartending. It's because cocktail culture was brought to Japan from the United States in the late 1800s, end of 1800s, with like a Western culture and like hotels and lobby bars and this and that was imported to Japan. Started in port cities, and then Tokyo was the capital, so whoever learned on those port cities, specifically Yokohama, went to Tokyo and they opened up their own bar, and that's how the Tokyo cocktail scene started in the early 1900s. And then cocktail bar has always been the upscale experience. It's always been like a fancy upscale experience, and of course expensive because those are all imported spirits, so they're not cheap to begin with. Like limes were very expensive. All this like fruits or ingredients that United States as a like cocktail culture where we have like abundance of wasn't abundant till very recent. So it was always kept as a very very high class imported fancy thing. And then of course like uh, because it was fine dining and expensive and fancy experience, the bartenders they will practice their craft, and like you see like a white jacket, it's like a sign of excellency, like no like spillage. I can never do that myself, and this and that. So that culture is still going on, but today Japanese bartenders are becoming more expressive and creative. Expressive and creative has always been a USA thing, like New York or San Fran or like New Orleans. Cocktail is being creative and coming up with new recipe and combining new flavors. Japan always, because it was of their culture, they kind of kept it classic, but more skill driven. Now everything is mixed. Whatever the world is learning craftsmanship from Japanese bartending, Japanese learning the expressive or like new methods from USA or other like countries. So as a point that I would like to make is I want to show you certain things that I know for like that's a cocktail making for Japanese bartending, so that you can like take home some Japanese sensibility or like a feeling. And in my opinion, to summarize Japanese bartending in one word, my definition is what can you possibly do to make this one drink the best thing possible? Like what can you do? Like that is, in my opinion, the definition of Japanese bartending. And then the method behind it, what kind of path you're gonna take, and this and that. Today I'm gonna break down the methods built, which I'll be making a gin and tonic. Stirred, I'll be making a Martinez, and then a shaken cocktail. I'll explain the different shakes that I use. All right, so we're getting into the actual contents. I'm gonna make a built drink, gin and tonic. Main focus on making these built drinks with carbonation is the spirit to mixer ratio. So like spirit to mixer, so like you pretty much put like 1.5 ounces or like a shot. So that's like a given. So it's basically how much mixer, like in this case tonic water, how much you're gonna put. Like that's the control of the dilution. And then keeping the carbonation, of course, you wanna keep it fizzy as possible. And then elegance, so you're making it with elegance. All right. This is the main focus you wanna be worrying about when making a gin and tonic. So I normally use 9 steps to make mine. And I'll slowly kind of go through one by one. So glass selection, I'm using a highball glass. Highball glass keeps the carbonation. The gas will not escape as much as the wider glass. So highball glass is as a selection. I'm gonna pre-chill. So biggest thing about carbonation is that it wants to get out. It's a gas, so it wants to escape. So different things can prevent that. One is keeping it in a sealed bottle. 2 is keeping it cold temperature. Those 2 are the main things that you want to be worried about for carbonation to escape. Just, so the main thing that whatever you can control is temperature. So you're going to pre-chill the glass. All right. And then I'm going to put the citrus in so that it won't float on top. Anybody ever wonder why the trident is for? It's for doing this. So now the citrus is in, and then next step, spirits in. So 1.5 ounces. All right. So the citrus and spirits are in the chill glass, and then you're gonna put the ice in. Ice, I will try to do my best to get like only the big ones or unisize. So I don't want this guy. They have a pillar ice in there, which is better for these kind of cocktails, but not many places like house or bar have pillar ice, so I'm using a bigger ice on purpose. It's because I want to show you the ice and stir and add more ice. So right now everything's in. You're gonna stir it. It's gonna melt a little bit because it's incorporated with the mixer and gin. So it's gonna bring down a little bit. You stir. So it makes a little bit more room. It might, with my glassware, it just leaves room for 1 ice. I think this glass leaves room for 2 ice. I think, yeah. You fill it up. It's because you're concerned about the spirit and mixer ratio. All right. And then finally pour the soda is the last part. And going back to the carbonation, you want to try your best not for the carbonation to disappear. So you're gonna pour as slow as possible. If you go direct, it's gonna splash and lose the carbonation. Some people do it like this. That's cool, but I personally do it like this. I'll use my spoon, let it touch the inside of the wall, and then I'm gonna try hit like the back of the spoon slowly, like that. So the soda will go through the inside wall. It's not gonna touch the ice, and slowly fill up to the top. So with a steady hand, I'm a little nervous on that steady my hand, but you go all the way to the top, slowly. Right now, the mixture, gin is still here, soda is here, so it's not fully mixed. So you want the top and bottom to mix, but you don't want to lose carbonation. So you're gonna go slowly, go pick it up, or without spinning the ice, and then put it down. 1 stir, and slowly put it up. That's enough for the mixture to mix, or the cocktails to mix. And gin and tonic is finished. After that, you can put express lime peel or straws or this and that. You get to do whatever you want to do. But as far as a built drink, this is how I make my gin and tonic. I will explain in the later section, but my point for bartenders. So these 9 steps that I take. If I have the time at my bar, I will do all these 9 steps. I will not skip any steps. If you guys are busy, you can skip it. It's just like if you're in the weeds, like you don't have to pre-chill and DOS it and this and that. Like no need, but just remember all this. Like if you know all these 100%, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, then when you're not busy, if you want to spend 100% effort to make this one thing the best gin and tonic possible, then these are the steps that you can take. If you're busy, you gotta go, like you gotta just make it in 3 seconds. You can't do that. You can skip 1, 5, 10. Or you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. So that's like that Japanese bartending as a mentality. Going on to the stir drink. Stir drink, very similar. But dilution is the number one most important thing. So you'll be using all the things you want to do when you're making a mixing drink. A stir cocktail is about dilution. And fewer ingredients, so yeah. So fewer ingredients, that's that. Set everything up so it'll be consistent. So it goes back to the dilution. All right, let's go to the steps. Sorry. Glass selection. So we're making Martinez, which is a short drink. Get this glass, pre-chill. Keep it going. And then you want to ice in this mixing glass. I'm using a glass mixing glass. It's quite standard. So I'm using only large ice. So I'm not using this guy. And then the connected one gets weird, so I'm gonna not use it. All right, fill it up. So mix a stirred cocktail. You want to be doing the same procedure every single cocktail, so that the result will come out. Like, and then even like Giovanni makes the martini, I make the martini, the same style. It's ideally it's gonna come out the same. That's like the goal. So first, I'm pre-chilling the glass until it's frothy. So I'm setting everything up. The ice is gonna melt a little bit, which is a good thing because normally ice has a little jaggy thingies, right? So these melt very fast. And after these melt very fast, it becomes a kind of clear, and then it'll start melting from the corners. So it melts, a lot of water will melt. Ice will melt, like a lot of ice will melt in the beginning, and then after it melt, like all the rough one melts, and then it'll melt at a consistent amount. All right, so I just threw away all the ice, so like my glass is set up. It's like all frothy, so the glass is not gonna warm up the ice too much because we already did that, and the rough part of the ice is already melt. So now it's gonna be consistent. All right, so spirits in a timely manner. So normally say like this is a Martinez. Martinez only has like 3 ingredients. Oh, where's my thingies? So if you have these lined up and ready to go, then the amount of time you're spending to make this one drink, it's not going to be like too long or too short. It'll be in a timely manner, especially in a working settings. That you know where all the bottles are, this and that. All right. So the building part of it is about consistency. The only thing I might add during this process is when you start, don't stop. like if I'm making a cocktail and I want to control my dilution, then stir drink. Once liquid in the ice, it's gonna start diluting the drink. Oh shit, I'm not used to this one. All right, so spirits in timely manner and stir. If it's all set up, you'll have full control of the dilution. So that means the ice is in. Ice is it's at a proper temperature. The glass mixer is cold and it's ready to go. You put in your spirits in a timely manner. Like martini will be like 1, 2, 3. Like kind of depends on your working environment. Once that's done, then everything is like done at like the same timely manner or same temperature. So the only thing that's going to make a difference on the dilution is how much you stir. And that's the only value of thing that's like make a difference. Because everything else is set up. So like this kind of setting, I normally do like about 40 to 50. This one I didn't really practice specifically. So I normally do, with this setting, I normally do 40-ish times. It changes with the ice, how like the size of the ice you have. Bigger the ice, more the stir. Smaller the ice, shorter the stir. You just gotta kind of practice and kind of figure out what's your sweet spot, what's your like ideal amount of stir. And I normally just count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I was like, if I'm thinking it's 40, I'll do like stir 40 times. If I think it's 50, I'll stir 50 times. And then like it's done. And lastly, pour with style garnish. I like to do just spoon like that. It cuts down to use like an extra tool. And if the ice I use is big enough, that's why like when in the first place, when I'm picking the ice, I don't use the small ones. I only use like a big size. So when I finish my stir, I go direct into the glass. And then I think it's like very elegant and like it's like practical like that. Like you're not using extra tools or nothing. You just go direct into the glass. That's how I do most of my stir drinks, and then garnish and whatnot. So that was the stir. So going back, summary is everything that you want to set up everything so that when you put in and then stir, that's where you have full control. A lot of people build and then put ice and stir. I don't disagree on that, but I think this is better. I'm not dissing on anybody. Everybody have their own style. So that's that. But like when you talk about consistency, how much water you're controlling, this is how I do it. All right. So last is shake and drink. The main focus is texture and mouthfeel. And then how to do. Yeah. So shake, I have about 5 different shakes that I differentiate depending on how I want it to come out. Let's just quickly go one by one. So light shake is just combining ingredients but not diluted. So like Tom Collins and Paloma. So if I have a cocktail like Tom Collins or Paloma, whereas you kind of have to shake it because to incorporate sugar in the citrus, but it's gonna be over, like more dilution is gonna come in. So you don't want it to be fully diluted first and then add soda water. So in those cases, you wanna be doing like a lighter one, like that's it. Like you don't have to put in energy or nothing. Just think about just to mix. You're just mixing it, so it'll be mixed, and then you're gonna add your other stuff later. Medium shake, combine the ingredients and some dilution. So mostly the ones that not serve it with ice. Like things are up. Like for margarita, cosmopolitan, bee's knees, those ones you kind of want to go a little bit more, but you're not really thinking about adding air or fluffing it or no nothing or diluting it. So they'll be like a little longer, a little faster. Just keep your rhythm and go. That's the medium shake. Hard shake is you're combining a little more fewer ingredients, like a daiquiri and gimlet are the top two. Those you using very high alcohol, and you do wanna dilute it, and you want I want ice flakes to be on the cocktail, so I will like shake it very, very hard. I'll show you my hard shake. And shaking style, I don't really have like a way like this is how you're gonna shake it, because I use a 3-piece myself a lot. I mean, I use both, but everybody have their own style. So as long as it's elegant, I don't really have like a thing like this is how you shake or anything. But this is how I shake my hard shake. I normally like to do it in 3s. So like in my first stroke, I try to hit as hard as I can to break the ice up. And then like the second and third would be like more like in the motion. So I'm gonna use my snap to like hit the ice and then go to 1, 2, 3. So this would be 1, 2, 3. So that'll be my hard shake. It'll have a lot of ice shards and stuff you make a cocktail with. And double shake, that's with egg white. So you want to double shake without the ice in, so that the egg white will like mix into the drink. And then when you do the actual shake, I try to make it more texture, less diet. Yeah. So I want fluffy texture. I don't want it to water down too much. So what you need to do when you want fluffy texture or less dilution is you gotta shake fast and short. You gotta shake short so it's not gonna water down too much, but you wanna shake it fast, it's like it'll be whipping up. So normally I use a 10 on 10 on egg white cocktails, because these 3-piece, it's harder to control. So my double shake, yeah. Double shake, I go like fast and short. No, like that. Because when you like doing the pre-shake, you need the dry shake, you're already mixing it somewhat, so you really need further dilution. So you just wanted to make it cold and then make it fluffy. And the fluffy shake is actually just pretty much the same thing. Fluffy shake, I normally use a 3-piece. It's just same thing. Yeah. It's fast and short. Just like that. You want to like shorter strokes, and then just faster. Shake as fast as you can. So that's why. Yeah, that's it. It's because espresso martini, for example, no egg white, but we want to make it fluffy. Another example, something with pineapple juice in it. It'll come out fluffy. You want to make it fluffy, make it fluffy. This kind of thing, it's 90% just you're making up story. It's like the ice that's in the shaker and this and that. Like I say it's 90% made up story. But if you don't have a story to begin with, there's nothing. So it has to just kind of make sense to you, like that you're doing. I'm shaking it this way because I want it to come out like this. So the conclusion is have a vision. Like I want it to be fluffy. I want it to just mix because I'm adding soda water later, or I want it like more dilution or less dilution. Have a vision. How do you want it to come out? Like, how does it want fluffy or this? I want like the nice foam. I want ice shards on top. And then how to make it happen. And make it with style because everybody's watching you. And that was it with the shake part of it. And I'm all done. Thank you for listening.